And that's why I wrote Hidden in Plain Sight, so people can know it's hidden. You can't see it. I can feel it because it was so on me so much that people noticed it. So they didn't make me too fat that people couldn't see that, but they have made me bigger though. I'm eating a lot and craving a lot because that is also a symptom too. It's a small symptom compared to changing voting rights and the civil rights laws, but it's still a symptom. So making me fat didn't stop me from talking because, as you can see and hear, it is compromised a little bit because I'm used to flowing and being happy. And people say, "Oh, you got such a glow." I was just told the other day, "You got your glow back. You're getting your glow back." I'm like, "Yeah," because I'm determined to finish my book and not let anyone shut me down. And I became homeless because of it. So I'm in a building because I'm in a shelter. Even though they find me housing and they pay for my rent every month, I'm still in a shelter because I wrote a book because I expressed my first right amendment, which I have that first right amendment to tell my story and to tell my people and brown people my story because I see and know what they've been doing to them. They did it to me since I was a little girl. But the pain didn't start till 2002 after 9/11. So I know that it's hidden because they don't want us to know. So you're right, Andrew. Tell your story. Don't ever feel like, well, nobody wants to know if I was raped. Nobody wants to know about incest. Nobody wants to know if I did drugs. Nobody wants to know if I did alcohol. Yes, they do. Because I'm writing about all of that in my second book. Because that's what the frequency does. It destroys people's lives, it destroys people's families. And I'm writing about that to make sure that people know don't keep blaming people in your family for bad things that happen to them that they're blaming you for. No, the frequency did that. My sister just told me over the weekend when I was in Washington, D.C., that my dad thought our family was cursed. No, we're not cursed. We got the Kennedy curse, that frequency that seems to screw up our lives and try to blame us for it. And like I said, I believe there's a whole lot of people in jail shouldn't be in jail. That's my
It
personal
is.
opinion.
It is. I know a lot of them. I know a lot of them. I advocate. That's one of the things that I do. And Shanette, that's her thing. That's her show. That's what it's all about. Let's talk about it.
Okay.
That's all she talk about is social injustice. She has her co-host has been wrongfully incarcerated now 34, finna be 35 years. But he's getting ready to see the other side, and he's gonna be able to tell people, really what has been going on behind those prison walls and what these people are really doing and how they're just holding people and have no reason to hold them. You got people over there that should have been free 2 and 3 years ago, but they're still holding them so that they can get a piece of paper every morning. He just said, "Oh, we got to sign off on a piece of paper when we go sign in." Why? Because you got to sign in so that the people can get paid. Because if you don't sign in, if you don't got their signature, then they can't put that down on their thing, so they can't mark you present if you're not showing up, so they don't get their dollars. But then they got to fill their beds, and this is what's happening. This if you go back and you look at it and you really look at it, and this is what they've been trying to keep people um in the blind for years. The prison system was nothing
Yeah.
designed. It was not designed to really keep people in check and to keep people in line. It was designed to house runaway slaves. That's what the prison system was designed for then. But when they decided that they was going to let us go free, then they realized that they had to come up with a plan to utilize those facilities
Mm.
and to keep
Yes.
us in slavery. Like, it ain't nothing that they just
Yes.
thought of. It's something that if you just look back over history and just look back over your lives and just look back over your family's history, you'll see it. You'll see how it was designed from what they say freedom to now, which we're never free, because if you got anybody incarcerated and they're working, they don't get paid. And what they doing? They
Mm-hmm.
putting all our babies in prison. You look at the childhood, the juvenile, the,
Mm-hmm.
the the amount of juvenile lifers we
Yeah.
have. Those
Prison
that
pipeline.
are,
Yeah.
it,
Pipeline.
that's all they doing. They you
Mm-hmm.
look at even the housing situation. We talk about Section 8. We talk about public housing. We talk about all these different housing. Okay, okay, they did away with it, fine. But why did y'all start it in the beginning? Y'all started it in the beginning to separate the family, because the first thing they do is say, "Oh, no man can't stay there. If we gonna give you housing, can't no man stay there." How you gonna tell me my kid's father can't stay there. If we married, why my husband can't be here? You started
They
this.
want
So then you
to-
want
right.
to blame it on the family. You want to blame it on our generation. No, it was not our fault. Kings, we love y'all. No, kings, society have failed y'all. They did that. They broke the homes up. They separated. They introduced welfare. They introduced wit. They introduced all this stuff that they knew that we were going to be dependent on. They wanted us to be dependent on